Well. It looks like co-president Musk has been exposing people, and he has finally got his hands on our private information. Well, I knew that was going to happen, but it looks like it turned out for the good because I don't know anybody alive getting who's 150 and getting Social Security. So where is their Social Security checks going to? Huh? Huh? Who's getting those? And FEMA is breaking federal law that Trump signed on day one to stop giving money to migrants. Yeah, that's still happening in New York. Yay. Not knowing that 59 million were for Americans. Yo, I'm glad. I'm really glad those people got fired. Y'all, check these clips out. So y'all see what I mean. It's a good thing Musk got his hands on that information that we didn't want him to get his grubby hands on. Check this out.
Four FEMA employees are fired over sending $59 million to New York City for illegal alien resources. And the DHS cut the employees today, saying they were fired for circumventing leadership and unilaterally making the, quote, egregious payment for hotels for migrants. The Department of Government Efficiency highlighted the funds on Monday with Elon Musk blasting the spending on X. He said that money is meant for American disaster relief and is instead being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand is being made to recoup those funds.
The CFO of FEMA got caught going behind Trump's back. I'm going to send $60 million to Manhattan so Biden migrants can keep staying at luxury hotels. And now she's out of a job. Nearly $1 billion of wasteful contracts were ripped up yesterday. A contractor was paid $1.5 million to observe mailing and clerical operations at one mail center. DOJ also terminated 29 DEI training programs at the Department of Education worth over $100 million. That comes to $3.5 million for each training program. One DEI session trained teachers to force students to recognize their privilege and their history of oppression. Central American Gender Assessment Consultant Services. We were paying a guy in El Salvador to assess gender. What does that have to do with agriculture? The Women in Forest Carbon Initiative Mentorship Program. DOJ also canceled a $17 million contract to provide tax policy advice to Liberia. We even paid college tuition for Al-Qaeda. We gave a jihadi a full ride to Colorado State. You get taxed. Congress sends your money to a federal agency. The agency sends it to a Democrat nonprofit. The nonprofit president takes a fat salary, sends some of it to a subcontractor, and donates the rest to Democrats.
Doge effort continues, tens of millions of dollars at a time. The latest from Elon Musk, posted at 5:03 a.m., says the Doge team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. Sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. A clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds as President Trump gives a vote of confidence to the world's richest man.
Breaking news. FEMA has just been caught spending $59 million of your taxpayer money on luxury hotels for illegal immigrants in New York City. Meanwhile, disaster victims in California and North Carolina are still suffering. Homes destroyed, families struggling, and FEMA chose to pay for Manhattan hotels instead. Where is their $59 million? Why are we not the priority? Should FEMA be helping Americans first?
Earlier this morning, Elon Musk says he discovered FEMA had sent $59 million just last week to luxury hotels in New York to house illegal immigrants. Violated the law. My friends, I want to stress this for you. Just last week, Trump was president last week. We still have a disaster in Los Angeles and in not just North Carolina, but the surrounding areas. And $59 million is being sent to New York to give illegal immigrants luxury hotels. There's a viral clip. It's gone around quite a bit again of Scott Pressler furious that we have homeless, abused Americans sitting on the streets, sleeping on the streets with no real assistance in luxury hotels for illegal immigrants. There's another viral video where a young woman who is Mexican, by the way, complains that because she was born on this side of the border, she does not get health care. Now, the video was actually really good. She wasn't asking for a handout or anything like that. She was pointing out that American citizens get denied health care all the time. There's no government programs for your average young American. It's hard work. You got to put in the hard work. But in California, if you're an illegal immigrant, you get free health insurance. How about that? It's almost like the system is conspiring against us, the citizens who pay the bills. But we got a lot going on. If you were wondering why it was that Taylor Swift got booed, look no further than things like this. Now, I know. We've been over the Taylor Swift thing. But isn't it fascinating? The Super Bowl, they boo this woman. Well, I got to tell you, it's really simple. She endorsed the Democrats. She really did. Donald Trump is favorable. He is approved. He won a popular mandate. And that's why that man gets cheered at the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift gets booed. But let's break down the news, my friends, and go over what Elon Musk is talking about. Before we do, of course, head over to timcast.com. Check out the latest episode of The Green Room, Gifts from Japan, with Tony Ortiz. This one was actually really chill. And, you know, I'm torn with the Green Room episodes.
Sort of just going for the president's comments at a high level. So, well, what are the two ingredients that are really necessary in order to cut the budget deficit in half, from $2 trillion to $1 trillion? And it's really two things: competence and caring. And if you add competence and caring, you'll cut the budget deficit in half. And I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there. So it's not like I think I can get away with something. I'll be scrutinized nonstop. But with the support of the president, we can cut the budget deficit in half from $2 trillion to $1 trillion. And then with deregulation, because there's a lot of sort of regulations that don't ultimately serve the public good. We need to free the builders of America to build. And if we do that, that means I think you get the economic growth to be maybe 3-4%, maybe 5%. And that means if you can get $1 trillion of economic growth and you cut the budget deficit by $1 trillion, between now and next year, there is no inflation. There's no inflation in 26. And if the government is not borrowing as much, it means that interest costs decline. So everyone's the mortgage, their car payment, their credit card bills, anything, their student debt, the monthly payments drop. That's a fantastic scenario.
I've been in the Senate for 8 years. In dog years, that's 56 years. I want to try to put in perspective what many of my Democratic friends have been talking about today. They're very, very, very upset at President Trump. And they're very, very, very upset at Elon Musk. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. I find it fascinating. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria. I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people. 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. Mr. Musk also found, this is the kind of stuff Mr. Musk found. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money.
You know, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't know. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, you know, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two.
Elon Musk and Doge have discovered some weird shit, enough to make you question where the fuck our tax dollars has been going. Prepare to get your mind blown. Come to find out, according to Elon Musk, Social Security checks have been going to people that are of the age of 150 years old. Now, the minute he said that, my spidey senses started tingling. As 30 seconds went by, I realized I don't know no motherfucking body over 150 years old. Do you all know somebody over 150 years old? Goddamn characters from Twilight exist that we don't fucking know about? Does the fucking werewolf from Dusk to Dawn exist that we don't fucking know about? Who the fuck is 150 years old still working? Personally, I'm not living to be 150 goddamn years old. Maybe aliens do exist. But then again, you know what? Now that I think about it, how old is Nancy Pelosi? That shit right there might be a little believable. Elon Musk and Doge have been finding out a whole bunch of shit the last 14 days. It is very upsetting. I'm glad they were actually pointing things out. But at the end of the day, it ain't nothing we can do about it. It ain't nothing we can do about it. Because it isn't nothing that we're willing to do about it. Besides, get on TikTok and fucking
Elon Musk says that they found Social Security checks going out to people that are 150 years old. Y'all like the video? And check this out.
I mean, these things, like, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of the expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's proved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, you know, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, you know, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, like, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly.
All the retirement paperwork is manual. There's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork.
You're not going to believe this, but retirement paperwork in the U.S. is still processed by hand and stored in a limestone mine. Yes, you read that right. Elon Musk just confirmed that only 10,000 people can retire per month because the entire system is still paper-based. And here's where it gets even crazier. The government has been trying to digitize this process since the 1980s. Over $100 million has been spent on modernization efforts, yet nothing has changed. I even found an article from 2014 that said 600 employees were manually processing these forms. Fast forward 11 years, and Elon just revealed that the number has increased to 700 workers, doing the exact same job. We are now in 2025, and the system is still stuck in the Stone Age. The inefficiency is mind-blowing. We have AI, blockchain, and instant digital transactions. Yet the federal government still pushes paper and files it away in an actual mine. At this point, if you can't see the value of Doge and decentralized systems, you're actively trying not to.
You know, one of the things is, like, we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this, obviously, there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, well, okay, well, let's, if people can retire, you know, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told, no, the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because
all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And I'm like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes to, boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
I've got one thing to say. You really got to be one ignorant son of a bitch if you're mad at Elon Musk for exposing the government and not the government for what they've done to you. I don't get it. What the fuck's the matter with y'all? Am I living in the damn Twilight Zone or something?